Hello everyone, I'm bringing you another video today in a series looking at the cameras used by the Grenztruppen, that is the border guards of East Germany. And what we're looking at in this video, in contrast to the previous videos, is a video camera, and this is a VHS camcorder, and it's a commercial offering from Panasonic, interestingly. So these were imported into East Germany for use by the Grenztruppen. And this particular model is the M5, which is a model which was basically available from the mid-1980s onwards. And there is some photographic evidence of these being used, along with later models as well. I believe the M7 was used as well. Some photographs actually of the fall of the Berlin Wall of the M7 being used. Now obviously recording moving pictures is quite important. Stills photography and so forth is all very well, but if you're wanting to record an encounter at the border, then filming it can be very useful as well. And VHS camcorders had obviously great advantages over the film cameras which had been used prior to this, generally speaking of Soviet origin. So the Panasonic M5, you record directly to a full-size VHS cassette, which means that you can immediately replay the footage. You can actually replay the footage in the camera if required using the viewfinder, or you can remove the VHS and obviously put it in a VHS player and watch the footage back on a television set very easily. You can duplicate the cassette very easily. It's a lot easier to disseminate the footage. There's no processing involved, it's direct to VHS. So VHS cameras had great advantages compared to the film cameras which have been used before. So without further ado, we'll get into the main part of the video now and have a look at this camcorder in a little bit more detail. So here we have the M5 in its protective hard carry case. Just flip this round here. We'll open it up. And you can see what we get inside here. So we have the camera itself and various accessories. Some spare batteries here as well. Open this up here. Some of the cables and so forth stored in here for connecting this to a television to view the pictures recorded. This actually has the original tape labels as well, the original VHS labels still in there as well, which is rather nice to have. No cassette, unfortunately. We don't have the original cassette, and you can see who originally had this. We've got Curriculum Development Centre Blackburn, so that was the original owner of this particular set. Just open this up here. You still have the shoulder strap in here as well, which is rather nice, and then the adapter for connecting this to the mains as required. You can charge the batteries using this, so this connects onto the batteries and then onto the adapter to allow these to be charged outside of the camera. The batteries that came with this aren't any good, of course. You can get replacement batteries. They're just old and therefore they no longer charge. They no longer hold charge, but we do have an original Panasonic battery there. There is also one in the machine itself. And then obviously another part of the system here for connecting this up to television to view this. So the various accessories in there aren't the main focus of the video, but it's rather nice to have an example that has these. I don't think this, as I say, is quite a complete set. There is a label here, which I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get into the camera, but with a label in here. I'll probably put a still of that in here just so you can have a look at the original contents of this, which would be received with the full set of equipment you got in the box. You just have a look at that label. I'll take a still image of that so you can look at this now. You can pause if you wish to have a look at this. We'll bring this round here, and we'll get the camera out and the adapter, the mains adapter. So remove that battery there, open this up here and bring out the mains adapter here. As I say, I can unfasten the touch and close here as well. Put that to one side for a moment, and we'll just bring this out of the way so we can have a look at the camera itself in a bit more detail. So without this powered on, we'll just have a look at some of the various details, the controls here. You can see on the side here you have the various controls for focus, so you have an automatic focus there, and then you have obviously white balance for outdoors and indoors. You've got the date and clock there, and the high-speed shutter settings, record, review and standby settings there. This is still quite dusty. I've not had a chance to go over this and give it a proper clean as yet. You have all the controls on top here as well. The tracking there. It's the operate switch, which is the on switch basically. Counter control, the date setting there, and the eject button for ejecting the cassettes. So edit on and off there, and then you have the various settings here. You've got the various controls here for playback and so forth, which can be covered up when they're not needed. Round on this side here, You also have a little clip here for mounting an external microphone or something similar at the top there. Though this does come with a built-in microphone, which you can see here. These always come with the original foam rubber covering for these, the windshield for these, generally completely disintegrated, so I've fitted a replacement there. It's not hard to find examples of these which are the right size to fit here. On the side here, you have a very ergonomic position to hold this on the side here, and then you can see in there is a red button which you can put your thumb on there to start recording. There is also a record button on top here as well, and then you have the zoom control here for your index and middle finger. So very ergonomic from that point of view, and a nice adjustable pad there to go on the outside of the hand when holding this. So this rests on your shoulder here, and you film holding it with it resting on your shoulder. The viewfinder is manoeuvrable, so you have a rubber eye cup there which hinges up out of the way when not required, and you can see in there the viewfinder views a little screen down in there, and a nice cushioned eyepiece there for you to press your eye against. So overall, quite an ergonomic bit of kit, obviously quite bulky and heavy. You can see sort of resting in my hands how bulky this is. But it's not uncomfortably heavy. And then you have your manual focus here, your macro and manual focus there, which I didn't look at before. Obviously there is a lens cap here at the front, which if we remove here, it's a little bit stiff. There we go, you can see the lens in there. And overall, as I say, a well-made, chunky bit of kit, but state of the art for the 1980s in terms of home video, home camcorders. Really decent bit of kit at the time. Rather nice to have, as I say. These aren't particularly expensive, you can pick them up quite easily. And what I'll do now is I'll try and get this going on AC power, mains power, using the transformer here, and we'll have a look at the various functions. I'm not going to record anything, and I won't be able to play anything back through this because I don't have any suitable VHSs, but I can nevertheless show you the inside of the VHS compartment here and just show you that it does in fact work. As I say, it does. I need some shorter length VHSs to attempt recording in this, and to get a replacement battery. The battery is located in the back here, so if I eject the battery here, you can see there's another original. I think this is another original Panasonic battery in there, as you can see. So I need to get a replacement battery. You can get replacement batteries of this size that will fit in and operate this camera. It will actually mean I can take it to events and use it. So that's another thing I need to get for this, as I say, is a replacement battery. But yes, I'll power this on now using mains power, and we can have a look at it. Just open up the battery compartment, open up the VHS compartment, excuse me, and have a look at that and so forth. So if I turn this on here, operate, you can see the little light on the operate switch turns on there. If I press eject, we can pop open the compartment on the side here, and you can see the VHS compartment in there and some of the internals. See that there? I think the light's getting in there well enough to see what's going on. I close this here. If I open this up here, we can see, hopefully, if I bring this up to the camera here, you can see my fingers in front of the camera lens there. So you can see through the viewfinder there. What are we looking at there? I'm not sure entirely. But you can see the date and time reading there. I'm not picking that up in focus all that well. You can see if I flip up there, that might be a little clearer actually. See the image there. I think we're just looking up at the television as it is there, but again you can see my hand moving in front of the lens there. So I think this is on, so you can see as I move my hand in and out here, you can see the automatic focus operates as well, which is quite good. So if I bring something in close, there we go. It winds itself out again. So that does operate. As I say, I need to find a battery for this, which will work so I can actually take it to events potentially and use it just for a bit of fun more than anything else really. It does appear to work otherwise. No reason to assume it won't record, but I need to get a short length VHS. It doesn't like long running VHSs I've found for some reason. I have some old recorded old recordable VHSs, which have nothing on them of any great interest, but they seem to be too long a tape, too long a duration to properly operate in this. So I need to look up and see if there is a limit. But it does seem to function. As I say, it turns on mains power, no problem at all. And it has played back shorter length VHSs, recorded VHSs, no problem. So I need to get some shorter length recordable VHSs to use in it and have a bit of a play. But there it is, the Panasonic M5. I'm very pleased to have one of these, as I say, and it does appear to be pretty much in working condition, but no reason to assume it won't record. And there it is, just a look through the various features and so forth on this. And at some point in the future I may upload something recorded on it, we shall see. Yeah, there it is, the M5, and I say an unusual bit of kit you might not have expected to see in use with the Grenztruppen in East Germany. The final thing to have a look at here is the AC adapter for this, which we should have looked at before really, but obviously I moved it away to plug it in to show you the camera operation. So just having a look at this here, you can see various details on this side, video out and audio out there, the power switch on and off there. Sticker here saying made in Japan, as you can see. And then again we have a sticker for the Curriculum and Development Centre in Blackburn. Interestingly, that's scratched in on the bottom here as well, as you can see there. And then we have the model number and the various details there as well. This was last tested in 1989, interestingly. Get the glare off there, you can see here, 89, 27th of April, 89. And what else haven't we looked at? This end, I think, you've got there, obviously a video AC adapter for the VW AM5 is the designation for this. You've got the standby and operate switch there, TV and VTR, and then a little charge port here. And this allows for the little charging adapter, which I showed previously, to be plugged in and charge a battery directly off this. It just clips onto the end of a battery. I believe this means if you've got more than one battery, you can charge a battery directly from the adapter and also one in the camera at the same time by plugging the camera into this using the lead here. So this plugs into the back of the camera. You can see that there, multi-pin. Get the light in there. There we go, multi-pin connector there, as you can see. And then obviously it just has a standard, in this instance, a standard British 3-pin plug. Oh, that was tested more recently, interestingly. So, yeah, standard British 3-pin plug. Obviously, in East Germany, it wouldn't have had one of these. It would have had an appropriate plug on the end. But that's the AC adapter, so that's the last thing to have a look at here. So there it is, not something you would typically consider as part of the equipment of the Grenztruppen, obviously used in specific circumstances, but nevertheless interesting, and obviously an import from the West, so to say, so quite interesting again from that point of view, and myriad advantages compared to using film cameras, as already mentioned. There were later models of these used as well. It appears the M7 was used, which is the follow-up to the M5. I don't have one of those. I may purchase one in the future, possibly. I quite like consumer electronics from this era. I find them interesting in and of themselves, so it's a good excuse to have one, I guess you could say. So the M7 may turn up on the channel in the future as well. And as I say, not that dissimilar, but say an interesting thing to have going forward perhaps. If you found this interesting and you'd like to see more of this sort of thing, please do consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And whether you're newly subscribing or you've previously subscribed, please do make sure you hit the little bell, the notification button down below, which will of course alert you when I upload future videos. That's everything for this video, so until next time, bye for now.